Hey guys, Steve here, and today we are reacting to House Sitting Horror Stories animated by Llama Arts. I'll also leave his information in the description, and I'll link the video. I'll try to. Anyway, let's just go. Alright, this is gonna start. What? Who was that? Oh, there he goes again. Okay, he's gone now.
A couple weeks ago, my dad came home and pitched me a small job offer.
Oh, that's nice.
One of his coworkers was going away for a few days and needed somebody he could trust to watch over his house. The reason my dad pitched this to me was because the man's house has a big CCTV system. Basically a camera in every room, and then an operating desk where all screens could be watched on a big monitor. And I'm a computer science major.
Wait. Why didn't he just, get another coworker to, watch over the house and just pitch it to his son? Okay, that's a little sus.
So my dad just always assumes that I know how to work anything technological. The man told my dad that he'd pay me $200 for the 2 days just to watch the house.
Sign me up.
Whatever that meant. My dad drove me to the house and introduced me to the man, whose name doesn't matter.
Sorry, y'all, this is my brother in the
man
background.
made it seem like he preferred I stay in the upstairs room with the monitors as opposed to roaming the house all day.
Hey,
that was fine with me,
I'm gonna have to bleep that out.
So when I wasn't eating, I was mostly just sitting in that room with the TV on in the background and doing schoolwork on my laptop.
He got my nerves.
Ironically, the thing I was doing the least was keeping an eye on the monitors.
What is he looking at?
Night came. I started wondering where in the house I should sleep,
to be perfect.
Surprisingly, we hadn't discussed that. So I sat back down at the desk and looked at all the different rooms on the screens to see which rooms had beds or couches. I noticed something I wasn't expecting to notice, though.
What?
The back screen door was open downstairs.
What?
I didn't remember
Get out the house.
Being open.
Get out the house. Get out the house. Get out the house. I am telling you, get out the house. You are black, so please do what a black person would do in this situation. Jump out the window, run home, and get a blicky or something and shoot down the whole house. I don't care.
I looked through each and every camera screen in a panic. In the living room, a closet door was open.
No, okay,
this one I knew wasn't open earlier.
If he jump scares me,
I texted my dad to call the man and ask him if he came back home. Meanwhile, I continued watching the screen.
Why would he come back? Why would he come?
On the grainy,
why would he come back
image,
home?
A tall
you would have seen him on the cameras.
Only a black shadow on the screen stepped out from the closet.
Hey,
I pulled my arms off the desk as I covered my mouth with my hands in shock.
Go down there and grab a weapon and beat him up, dog. What are you doing?
Pulled some heavy object from the desk onto the floor, creating a big thud. The person in the image very clearly moved their head up to the ceiling as a response to the noise.
Look what
you've done. They went for the stairs, walking up very, very slowly,
Now he's going up to the stairs to steal your butt.
Meanwhile,
good job.
I got a text back from my dad
You got your butt
saying,
stolen by Diddy.
No, he's not. I just spoke to him half an hour ago.
Yeah,
Why?
Diddy's gonna take you.
I got so caught up in my phone texting my dad to send help that I didn't even pay attention to the monitor. There was a knock at the door.
And there he is.
I looked at it and then the screens.
Have you ever heard of hiding?
The first
Hide under
screen
the
I
desk.
laid my eyes on was the one showing the person outside the door to the room I was in. When I remembered that door had no lock, the only thing I could think to do was jump out the window into the bushes below.
Yes, do that.
I ran halfway down the block and then stopped when my dad called me. I had him call his friend and ask him if he was expecting somebody in the house. The man said he had no relatives or friends who had his key or would ever let themselves into his home.
Okay, so somebody really broke in his house,
and had them review the footage. I got to watch all of it, and it showed everything. From the moment the intruder broke the glass to the backyard door, to the moment I jumped out the window and him running away shortly after.
Well, good thing you did that, or else he would have took your butt.
The footage was just too dark to identify his face.
Well, I guess that's the end of the story. Now, guys, we're gonna watch another one, and this is gonna be the end. So, yeah, you better get ready, because we're only gonna be doing this 2 times. And we're gonna have these horror videos only on. Never mind. I'm not creating a schedule. As you go. Inhuman Entity.
A cool breeze crept through the valley outside of Telluride, Colorado, as my friends and I unloaded the truck parked on the dirt driveway.
Oh.
We had recently started renting an old mining house built in the early 1900s. Most of the home had been renovated over the years, but there were still glimpses of what the house used to be. The exterior of
It's
the
like
home
Michael
was
Myers'
painted a
house.
bright yellow
Just
and
add
adorned a
different things.
blood-red door. The yard was abundant, with lush green grass,
Yo, they
minus
can hear
the few
they can-
brown patches that littered the ground.
Sorry, that's my
In
brother's
the
phone
corner
back.
of the
You hear
yard
that?
sat a dilapidated gazebo, filled to the brim with landscaping equipment. I stood facing the house, admiring the quaint ambiance it seemed to exude.
Is that
I felt
Henry
something hit my
Danger
back and
Jace
spun
Mormon with a
around.
beard
My
looking
brother,
Who's
William,
this guy?
was standing behind me with a box under his right arm. "Let's pick up the pace. We don't have all day,"
Who are you
he
bossing
said,
around?
with a little annoyance masked in his voice.
Looks like Kevin from
"Yeah,
Home Alone.
yeah,"
He's an
I
adult.
responded, and started
Dennis
walking
Lemonade.
to the back of the truck. My other two friends, Elijah and Leon, were in the process of stacking some
Hold on,
boxes
let
on
me
a
see
dolly.
Leon look like.
"Hey man,
Oh my
take this to
God,
my
you
room,"
look like Tom
Elijah
Holland.
said, as he handed me a
anime.
large box. I resituated it in my arms and gripped it. As I
like
did
Billy
so,
Loomis a
I
bit.
could hear glass clanging inside, and a strong, familiar odor
weed in
starting
the
to
corner?
leak out. "Hey man, be careful," Elijah snapped. "If you ever want to smoke
Elijah?
again, I'd highly
Look at
advise
that,
you to
and
take
that
it one
was
step at
Elijah.
a time
And
there,
green.
champ. Maybe
Over there,
if you didn't
camouflage.
throw everything into one single box without bubble wrap, then you wouldn't have an issue of something breaking, Elijah," Leon
Is he wearing a
responded.
turtleneck?
Elijah's eyes
Yep, he's wearing a
widened,
turtle.
as if he had just figured out the secrets of the universe. I laughed, turned around, and proceeded into the house.
Yeah, like
The
you should.
floorboards creaked as I stepped onto the warped living room
Dear,
floor.
look, go
I
ahead, get
surveyed
out of
my
there.
surroundings of the
Just
old
get out of
rustic
there.
home as I
didn't know
headed
there's
to
gonna be a
Elijah's
creep in
bedroom.
his basement coming to kill him.
Only 2 interior rooms had been renovated in the entire house. One
just 2?
being the kitchen, which had marble countertops and new appliances. The other being my room.
Maybe not so
I was the one who found the home on the market, so respectively I had first choice of which room I wanted to claim as my own.
big
The other
room.
rooms, on the other hand, were still the same as they had been since the early 1900s, with dreary wooden floorboards and old
I
chipping
know-
paint.
Would y'all take up an offer for a 1900s house? No, because there are probably slaves in there just hiding in the basement.
"Dude, what the hell?" William yelled from upstairs. I quickly climbed the narrow stairway to find my brother in his room. I walked in to
Jesus,
find
those
what
are
looked like to be a large lump underneath the wooden floorboards.
What the?
It almost looked like Andre the Giant was buried in the middle of the room.
Is there a
I
body
told you it was an
under the
old
wood?
home, Will. Things shift over time, I
I
said,
know there's
trying to
gonna be
hold my
body
snickering
there.
back.
Real
"Yeah,
dead
I get
body.
that. But you didn't say that I'd have to maneuver around a speed bump," he snapped back. I took a deep sigh and turned to him.
Did y'all even
"Okay,
check out the
look
listing?
man, we're only gonna be here for a year. You've got plenty of room to put your bed so
What
you're not
is
sleeping on an
that
incline."
on the wall.
William
Who
turned
did
back to the
that?
floor dejected.
Who's the- No, I don't want to talk to you. Stop.
That's easy for you to say. You're not staying on the cover of Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones.
What?
After we had moved everything into the house, we all plopped down on the couch, beers in hand, and began our well-deserved
This
R&R.
house looks like a crack house from Breaking
Elijah
Bad.
had already
Oh
begun
my
smoking,
God.
and the room started to fill with the
disgusting.
pungent odor.
Yo!
So are we gonna be doing some ghost hunting tonight, boy?
Who just nut all over the ceiling and just crept through the floorboards? Jesus Christ. Who's playing with the balls upstairs?
Boys? Elijah said, as he passed the joint to Leon. "Oh, come on, you don't actually believe that crap, do you?" Leon responded as he was rolling his eyes. "The guy blew his brains out on the front porch in the 1930s. I'd be surprised if there wasn't a ghost floating through the halls. I mean, how do you think we got such a killer deal on rent?" William said as he lifted his arms and started mimicking the sounds of a specter. Shut
What
up.
the hell does the
It's all
couch smell like
nonsense.
blue
You've just
poop?
been watching too much Ghost Hunter
Hold on, let's
and
go back.
started mimicking the
Why? Oh my god. Hold on. Why does the couch kind of have them cheeks though? I'm not gonna assume anything, but hey, that's all I'm saying.
sounds of a specter. Shut up. It's all nonsense. You've just
Hey,
been
yo,
watching too much Ghost
who do you
Hunters.
think you are?
I responded.
Ben 10?
But
Green eyes
anyway,
up there looking like pears.
I'm gonna go to bed. We
Black
need to get up
pears.
early to do some cleaning.
Slightly
Good
rotten.
night, guys. I stood up and meandered to my room.
First of all, how was
In
your
all
room
reality, I
blue?
was a little
It should be
perturbed by
black.
what happened at this house. I've always been quite agnostic to my beliefs of ghosts or spirits, but I've never witnessed anything myself. The rent was
Okay.
super cheap for an entire
Hey,
house,
hey,
and I wanted to
you
save
take
some
off
money
them
for a trip
socks,
outside of the
it's not
country.
right around the corner. That's all I'm
I
saying.
pushed the fact that someone had ended their life to the back of my mind. I wish things would have turned out much differently.
Just go to
I
sleep.
entered my
Oh,
room
girl.
and slid under my
Go to sleep,
sheets and basked in the warmth of my bed. It had been a long day and my body ached from moving.
You know what,
I grabbed
Mama?
my phone and looked
You
for
know
a
what, Mama?
raid.
We need you to animate Invincible. You need to animate Invincible, because what is this? It just looks disgusting. So please just do it for us.
And Thunder YouTube video to help me sleep, and after about 15 minutes, I crept into comfortable darkness. My eyes shot open in the middle of the night. The moonlight shone through my window and
How did you
enveloped
get
my
this
room
angst?
in comforting
Why
light.
did you leave your
I could hear
your
creaking
window
from the
open?
house as the wind
Yeah,
howled
until you get the
outside.
butt taken by-
I tried to sit up,
Just
but
go ahead.
found my efforts futile. Sleep paralysis was a regular occurrence in my life.
Paralysis?
It
Yep,
happened
doesn't
at
have
least
demon
once a
crawl
month
through
due to
his window
stress
take
and a
his
little
butt.
help from my antidepressants. At this point, I'd almost gotten used to it. I could hear what sounded like a light scratching noise coming
Oh,
from
no.
inside my
Oh, no,
room,
somebody's in your closet.
and prepared myself for the usual dark figure to be standing in the corner. My eyes darted from left to right, trying to decipher where the noise was coming from.
FNAF right now with
It
his
was
eyes?
then I started to hear skittering,
Like FNAF 4?
like someone or something was moving around.
someone or something.
A cold feeling crept over my
What
body
thing
as I
being
started
here?
sweating profusely, my sheets becoming soaked.
Ugh!
The skittering stopped,
Yeah, I'm a censor
but
that.
was replaced by
I'm not saying
cracking,
that, freaks.
one that resembled that of broken bone.
What?
Out of my peripheral vision, I could see long, needle-like limbs protruding from my tapping the wall as if they were looking for something.
Is that a huge
I then saw
spider?
a large, bulbous black mass starting to show itself from the closet door. And twitched almost habitually.
Oh no!
A loud moan echoed throughout my room
Scares me, I
as the
swear to
creature
God.
finally
Don't do this,
presented
llama.
itself.
Don't do it to me, llama.
A spider-like entity was situated on my
don't
wall.
do it to me, llama. Don't do it to me,
The
llama.
reason I say spider-like was because its head had been
I'm
replaced
recording
with that of a human one. Its eyes
Sorry,
were
guys.
blacked out from the shadows.
But what the hell, boy?
And its lower jaw was removed, revealing a blotchy tongue that oozed.
Brother, what's that?
Saliva.
It had a head?
It was about the size of a twin bed.
Hey, I'll take all the.
You some freaky ass nigga!
Don't matter to me. If you got no head and you got no body, then I'll take the chances.
And stared at me for what seemed like hours. My heart was racing. I was begging my body to
Sleep
move,
paralysis.
but to no avail.
Matter of fact,
I was stuck
experienced
there
sleep paralysis
in
before.
suspended torment.
It was literally crazy.
I tried
Saw a dog
screaming,
on my
but I
feet.
was unable to make a sound. All I could do was watch the creature on my wall as
Stop
it
it.
grew closer.
Stop it.
Suddenly, it skittered to the ceiling right above me and started scratching with its two front legs, almost like it was burrowing. It then
no.
started to sink into
Okay,
the
this
wall,
one is actually pretty.
as if the wall had turned into
very scary.
quicksand. then the legs. Eventually,
Why?
all that was left was its
Why?
mangled head staring straight
Mama,
at me.
I told you not to do
Those
that.
cold, dead eyes
Whoa.
boring into my soul. I could hear it moaning, and I could feel the drips of saliva hit my
God,
torso.
Mama.
The creature then let out an inhuman roar
It's gonna
and
eat him.
vanished into
It's
my
gonna
ceiling.
eat him. It's gonna eat him.
My body was finally released, and I jolted out of my bed screaming. As I did, the house erupted into more terrified outcries coming from upstairs.
Jesus Christ.
Apparently, I wasn't the only one who saw something. And, unfortunately, it wouldn't be the last time either.
What? Oh my god. Well, guys, that's it for this video. If you want to see more scary videos and more reactions, go ahead, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. I hate you, Llama.